So for this workout today, we are going to be working into some strength and stability for your upper back and shoulders, so back of your shoulders. We'll do some core strength for your lateral core, and then we'll work into some hip hinging for your glutes and a bit of plank with some forward pressing. So plenty of forwards and backwards shoulder work and a bit of core and hips thrown into the mix. As always, we'll start with a warm-up. So we have a warm-up circuits to start with. Is 3 rounds of 10 glute bridges and a 20-second plank. Then we go into the circuit for the strength, which is 3 rounds of 6 each of front-lying Ys, Ts and As. Of course, as always, I'll run you through that. Then we have a side plank for 20 seconds per side, followed by a feet elevated single leg glute bridge. So you'll need your chair for that part of the workout. And then the fourth movement is a 4-point plank. And that's just a nice variation on a regular plank where we're changing positions from down on your forearms to coming up to your hands and moving through that. I will take you through all of those movements for the first rounds, and then we'll finish off with a bit of stretching for your shoulders, chest and glutes. So let's get into it. We'll start off with the warm-up. So we have 10 glute bridges and a 20-second plank. So I will time that plank for you. So coming down onto your back for the glute bridges. So just flat on your back. Arms are up to the side, palms facing up, knees are bent. You want to have your feet about hip width apart, so you can just have a little check that you've got your feet not too wide, not too narrow, so you don't want them right in, but you don't want them out here there either. So you want to just have your knees lined up nicely with your hips, and you're going to pull your abs into your spine, flatten out your back, and then push up into your butt. So this movement should have nice stable hips throughout here, so you don't want to be like arching right up into your back. We're not coming right up onto the shoulders there. We're just drawing the abs into spine and pushing up into your butt. You can also coordinate your breathing with this, so you can breathe in to come down, exhale, push up. And you should really start to feel your glutes as you work through these 10 reps and make nice powerful lifts up off the floor. So that's your 10 glute bridges. Then we come around onto your front for the plank. So starting on your knees, come down to your forearms and your elbows. Check that your elbows are lined up under your shoulders. And then we're gonna come up onto your toes, pulling your belly in, squeezing your bums, squeezing your thighs. Breathe in through your ribs. Nice exhale and squeeze. Think about pulling your ribs down to your hips and making sure that you're not whacking up into it or losing that core. So nice flat position here. Everything squeezed tight. Breathe it out. And knees down after that 20 seconds, and then just cycling through those 2 movements for another 2 rounds. So you can go back to the start and follow along with me again, or you can just pause the video and work through at your own pace for the next 2 rounds. Okay, so now that you've finished your 3 rounds for the warm-up, we will go through the strength movements. So you've got 3 rounds of this. I'll take you through the first round, and then you can continue. So first movement we have is front-lying Ys, Ts and As. So this is a really good shoulder stability movement. So the positions that you're going to be going through with your arms, so I'm going to show you in this position first, but then we'll do it actually lying on your tummy. So this is your Y position, and you can see I can shrug up I want to have my shoulders shrugged down, so you can even, to set your position, shrug up and then pull down to where you can hold it, and from there you're going to be lifting your hands off the floor. And then your T position is a nice T shape. Again, checking your shoulders, setting them so that your shoulder blades are pulling down your back, and then from here again you'll be lifting up off the floor. And then the last one, the A's, arms come down to an A shape. And this will feel much more easy to get your shoulders down, but again, you'll be lifting. So it's 6 in each of those positions first. Coming down onto the floor and going into my Y position to start with. So I shrug up, bring my shoulders down, resting my nose on the floor, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then coming out to the side, shrug my shoulders down, controlling my shoulder blades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then back down to the A shape. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's number 1. And then we come on to your side for your side plank. So you're going for 20 seconds here. You can either start on your knees or you can come right up onto your toes. So you just have a slight bend in your knees and elbows directly under shoulder, so that from there you can push up and get your hips into a nice straight position. And if you're pretty comfortable with it, then you can come right up onto your toes and breathe that out. So arm can come up in the air, and we're pushing up into the hips here. Breathe into your ribs. Big strong exhale. And down you come. So we'll change sides now. And again, elbow under shoulder, just a slight bend into the knees, and up we go. Get yourself nice and stable, then arm can come up. Breathe in, exhale, squeeze. Pushing right up into your hips. Last 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, down you come. Awesome. That is your side plank. Next we've got the feet elevated single leg glute bridge. You can either do this just with your body weight and your chair, or if you want to add a little weight, if you've got a dumbbell you can use that, or if you've got something else that you can load up onto your hips, like a bottle of milk or something, you can use that too. So I've got my dumbbell here, got my bench, so you'll do the same thing but with your chair. And I'm going to lie down in front of my bench, bring my feet up onto the bench, get a nice right angle shape there with my knees. Then I'll grab my weight, place it on my hips. And we've got a single leg glute bridge here. So one foot comes up off the bench, and then I'm pressing up into my butt here. And we've got 8 per side. 2 more. Coming back down, and then I just change sides. Again, lifting up the leg that's not working, and then lifting my butt, pressing down into my heel. Exhale to come up. 2 more. All right. That's your single leg glute bridge, loaded or body weight. And then 4th movement is a 4-point plank for 8 reps. So for the 4-point plank, you can either do this on the floor or you can bring your forearms up onto a bench. So first position we're going to start with is on your forearms. And again, from your knees, just getting your elbows under your shoulders, come up into that plank, and we're going to go up onto our hands, back down to elbows. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you can alternate sides with this as well. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So it's a pretty challenging movement, so feel free to get up off the floor and use your chair for that one. The key with that is hip stability. So you want to make sure you're not rolling around and twisting to get that height. So locking your abs in, pulling your pubic bone towards sternum, keeping that all locked in, and then just pushing and lowering down through your arms. So that's your 4 movements. 2 more rounds of that and you'll have a cracker of a workout done. Now to finish off, we'll do a really nice glutes and chest and shoulder stretch. So first stretch is a seated glute stretch, and this stretch can be done either sitting on the floor or sitting on the chair. So if you are struggling to sit nice and straight, so you come down to the floor and bring your legs straight in front of you. If you're really struggling to get that nice vertical position, then just bring yourself up to a chair and you can do it from there. Now from here, we take one foot and bring it up over the opposite thigh. So if you're sitting on a chair, it's the same thing, it's just that you've got your bum on a chair, knees are bent, but you're still going to push, bring your foot up and rest it on the opposite thigh. Get that same position in the chair. And then I've got my forearm resting just inside my knee here. So I'm actually pushing down on that to get some external rotation in my hip. Now you might find that that gets you a really deep stretch and you have to really work to hold this nice vertical position. If you feel pretty comfortable here, you can start to reach forwards. Now as you reach forwards, you're keeping the pressure over the inside of that knee with the other arm. And when you reach forwards with the other hand, you can either grab onto your leg, or as you ease into it, taking nice deep breaths, full breath in through your nose, exhale, release, sink a little deeper. If you can reach for your toes on that side. Get a little bit of hamstrings in there as well. If you're in the chair with this, you can still lean forwards to get that deeper stretch into your glutes and easing that knee down. Ideally, you want to be able to get the knee on that bent leg down as low as the ankle that's sitting over the thigh. That's a good range of motion. Now for a lot of people, it's really hard, and you might actually find, your knee's way up here, and that's fine. We're just still putting the pressure on that knee, and the more time you spend in these positions, the more things will start to open up and the deeper into them you'll be able to go. So let's change sides. So setting that position first, getting your ankle over the thigh, resting the forearm inside the knee of the bent leg, getting yourself up nice and straight. So if you want to hold on to that foot to pull yourself in a little straighter, you can do that. And if you can, then you can reach forwards. And remembering your breathing. So breathing is key here. It's the breathing, it's the deep breathing that sends signals to your muscles that it's safe and they can relax, and you can go a little deeper. So it's actually the nerves that stop you from getting these deeper positions. with the stretching. Muscles don't really change in length. They're attached to bones, which don't really change. Just a couple more breaths here. And coming back up, I'm going to go into a standing chest stretch from here. So you need either a corner of wall or a doorway where you can get your arm up onto the wall and then some free space. So I've got my pole here. So if this was the side of a doorway and I'm in the middle of the doorway, then I bring my forearm up to the wall, standing right beside it, and then I'm going to step forwards. So I'm opening up through my chest here, so my elbow is pushing in to the pole. Yours will be pushing into the wall or the doorway. So you need this free space here, obviously, to be able to push your body forwards. My hand is relaxed, so we're not pushing in with our hand. That's going to turn on some internal rotation in your shoulders, and you don't want that. And bending forwards into that knee, breathing through. So you can give this a good minute if you really want to make some change in your flexibility. Then you need to hold nice long stretches. So once you've done a minute here, then you can switch sides and do the other side. I'm not going to do that because it'll take me off camera. So you can pause or just go back and do the other side. And then to finish off, we're going to do a stretch for your neck and shoulders. So clasping your hands behind your back, pulling down nice and long. So we're getting those shoulders opened up and then dropping your head out to the side, easing your ear right down towards your shoulder. And breathe. So you should be feeling nice and warm and limber after all those movements and that stretching. Bring your head back to center, reset your hands and drop to the other side. Breathe it out. And if you find that you start to feel a bit sore through the day, anywhere in your shoulders, your chest, your glutes, you can redo these stretches. It will aid your recovery. Soreness will go away faster and you'll feel better. And this one here is awesome for opening things up after you've been sitting at a desk for hours and hours. So that's it for today's workout. I hope you enjoyed it. Send me any feedback that you've got, any questions at all, and I'll happily hear from you. Have a great day.